We live in a world built on a massive lie, and that lie is this: if you break, you are weak. If you remain solid like a stone, you are strong. But what if psychology views this completely in reverse? Society looks at people who cry easily, those who tear up during a movie scene, or feel a lump in their throat when hearing someone else's pain, and labels them fragile or too sensitive. But neuroscience reveals something entirely different. They are actually some of the most emotionally intelligent, deeply resilient people on this planet. They aren't broken. Their internal system is just significantly more advanced than the average person's. Today, we aren't talking about cliques or old advice. We are diving deep into the brain mechanics that prove crying easily isn't a liability, it's a superpower. We will explore the hidden chemistry of your tears, the evolutionary advantage of high sensitivity, and why the world is secretly terrified of people who feel too much. Let's run a quick experiment. When an average person runs into an old friend or hears sad news, a minor emotional wave ripples through their brain and fades quickly. Their brain processes the emotional world in standard definition. But for people who cry easily, their brain processes reality in 8K Ultra HD. Neuroimaging studies suggest that in highly sensitive individuals, the anterior insular cortex, the brain region involved in awareness of internal feelings and emotional experiences, can show stronger activation during emotional processing. Along with this, the mirror neuron system helps us understand another person's perspective. People who cry easily often respond very strongly to others' emotions. They don't simply understand another person's pain. They may experience a vivid emotional response of their own. Their nervous system operates like a finely tuned antenna. When you speak to them, they aren't just listening to your words. They notice the fatigue in your voice, the tension in your posture, and the emotion hidden behind your smile. Their tears aren't simply a sign of weakness. They can be one natural way the body responds to intense emotional experiences. To truly understand why we feel ashamed of our tears, we have to look at where it all started. Think about the first time someone told you to stop crying. You probably weren't an adult. You were a child. Maybe you felt something deeply, and someone responded by saying, "Stop, don't be a baby, be strong." Over time, that message became part of the way many people think about emotions. From an early age, many cultures teach that showing emotions is a weakness. Boys often hear, "Boys don't cry." Girls may receive different messages, but the pressure to hide emotions can affect everyone. Psychologists sometimes describe this tendency as emotional suppression or emotional control. While staying calm can be useful in some situations, constantly hiding emotions doesn't make them disappear. Now here's something fascinating. For many years, scientists believed crying was mainly a social signal, a way of showing others that we needed support. Research has shown that emotional tears differ from the tears that simply keep our eyes moist or protect them from irritants. Some researchers, including biochemist Dr. William Frey, proposed that emotional tears may contain different biological substances than reflex tears. Scientists continue to study exactly what role these differences play. What is well established is that many people feel calmer after crying. Crying can activate processes associated with the body's recovery from stress and may help restore emotional balance. In other words, allowing yourself to cry can sometimes be part of a healthy emotional recovery. Emotionally sensitive people often experience another challenge. Long after an emotional event has ended, they may continue thinking about it. They replay conversations. They wonder how someone felt. They revisit old memories and experience those emotions again. Psychology calls this rumination. Although excessive rumination can become unhealthy, many emotionally sensitive people also spend more time reflecting on experiences and searching for meaning. That depth of reflection has often been linked with creativity, empathy, and artistic expression. So, if crying can be healthy and emotional sensitivity has real psychological value, why do so many people still feel uncomfortable when someone cries? Part of the answer may be that another person's emotional honesty reminds us of feelings we have been trying to hide ourselves. In a world where many people feel pressure to appear strong all the time, someone who openly expresses emotion challenges that expectation. Their honesty can make others uncomfortable, not because emotion is weakness, but because it reminds us that we all have emotions. The next time your eyes fill with tears because of an act of kindness, a moving story, or simply because life feels overwhelming, don't assume that something is wrong with you. Your ability to feel deeply is part of what makes you human. Sensitivity is not the opposite of strength. In many situations, it is one of the strongest qualities a person can have. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments. Do you see your sensitivity as a weakness, or are you beginning to see it as one of your greatest strengths? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.